Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here Saturday afternoon for the Saturday afternoon live experience. And I've chosen an album that I quite love, actually. I did a little bit on it when we did my favorite albums of the year 1980. However, I decided to do this one for my live experience this week, and we're talking about Supertramp's live in Paris at the Pavilion. This was released, it's recorded actually on November the 29th and 30th and December 1st and 2nd from 1979. The album was released in 1980, I believe. Just let me check just to make sure, because I know it was from the 80s. Pretty sure that's when it was. Doesn't say. Of course, why would it? It doesn't matter. Anyways, this particular disc, I had a choice of a couple discs, and I chose this one because it has both a double CD collection of the original album, and then it also has a DVD of the live concert in Paris, which is fantastic. It's just absolutely staggering. I love these guys. I think vocally they're among the very best bands out there. Their craftsmanship and their ability to put pieces together. This is a band that really puts the orchestration in their music very strong. Like each part plays very well together. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Gentle Giant that way, except for these guys were a little bit more poppy, maybe not as much progressive rock, a little more bluesy to their music, but very, very tastefully done stuff. There are basically 18 tracks on the DVD and I believe 24 in total on the double CD collection. They cut like maybe 6 songs from the live DVD performance. But just fantastic stuff here. You know, you've got both Davies and Roger Hodgson singing lead vocals on various tracks here. Some of their best songs recorded are on this DVD, and this came right at right on the tour, the Breakfast in America tour, when they were at the height of their career, and it's just fantastic. I love it. So I'm going to just tell you, based on this notice here, it's just going to tell you who's on it. Rick Davies, vocals, keyboards, and songwriting and composition. Roger Hodgson, vocals, guitars, keyboards, and songwriting and composition. Dougie Thomas on bass. Bob Seibenberg on drums and percussion, and John Anthony Helliwell on woodwinds, and he does vocals too. As well, they don't mention it here, as well on the live disc, he's kind of the front guy for announcing what they're going to do and talking to the audience. He does speak some French, which makes it easier when they're in Paris, right? So, a fantastic album, I think. And the DVD is just as good. So you got basically a lot of piano and keyboards throughout the album by both Davies and Roger Hodgson, and then you have a lot of keyboard parts, but I think they're more synthesizer parts done by Helliwell in the background. A little bit of synthesizer parts by Davies as well, but I think Helliwell pretty much handles that part. So you got the opening track, of course, everybody knows, School. Fantastic. Great song here. So you got this kind of lead in, which is done by both the guitar and the the clarinet, which Helliwell plays. Really catchy, really memorable stuff. The piano solo is so memorable, such a great piano solo he does towards the end of the track, dominates the song. The vocals are by Hodgson. He also plays the guitar here on this particular track, but the piano is the dominant instrument here. Hodgson and Davies doing most of the chorus as well. So then you got Bloody Well Right, which we all know is Hodgson on vocals, of course. Or am I wrong? I think Hodgson's the vocalist here. No, I'm wrong. I wrote it that way, but I knew it. I've listened to the song so many times, I know that's not Hodgson. That's definitely Davies on vocals, lead vocals here. The sax on this song is probably the best sax on the entire album, and also on the concert. Really good. Helliwell nails it here. Vocals, Hodgson and Davies dueling, really good. Completely in sync with each other. Davies has more of a deeper voice, but he comes up for the occasion here, and they nail it together. There's no out of sync part at all here. And of course, Hodgson does the guitar and the solo bits here as well, which really are really tasteful. Logical Song, of course, was their first really monster hit, with Hodgson on vocals, and he also plays keyboards here. The bass is kind of frontal here as well, which is not as strong on most of the tracks, but on this track, dominating. Helliwell, Hodgson, and Davies doing that kind of chorus part, which they do on most of the tracks on this particular thing, and live you will see this pretty evident. Sax might be the best on the album, I think. The Bloody Well Right is really good, but I just think the sax is a little bit better on this particular song. His solo is so good. Goodbye Stranger, one of my favorites. Davies on vocals. Did I screw it up again? Yeah, I think I did. I don't think it's him on vocals here. No, I was wrong. I'm right again. It's not him on vocals. I did this twice now on this, but I knew both times when I did it. I'm looking at him saying that's not Hodgson on vocals. It's Davies. So it's Davies doing Goodbye Stranger here. Really good, great keyboard solo. Helliwell's doing his bit is so good. He's a pretty predominant guy, more so than you would think, because people think of Davies and Hodgson as being the two big guys, which they are. But this guy, he's really good. He's very much a front guy here as well. At least in the live concerts, I notice him a lot more. Then you get Breakfast in America, another great tune. Hodgson on this one. Hodgson on the piano on this one, the chorus of the trio of the three of them, and then Honeywell doing the clarinet as well. Then you've got Hide in Your Shell, which is to me a very underrated song. I really think this is one of their great classic songs. I love this song. Hodgson's doing his guitar, his vocals, and his keyboards here. All three of them doing a fantastic vocal harmony there. Yeah, I think that this is the song with a bit of harmonica in it, played by, of course, Davies. He plays the harmonica here, and Honeywell's on the sax as well. So then you got Asylum, another great piano intro by Davies on vocals, and then some. Really, they have this part where they have this giant monkey and a big banana on stage, like almost like baseball mascots on stage jumping around. It's kind of different. The vocal part, of course, by Hodgson and Davies. They doing the actually. Davies does the vocals here. Hodgson does this voice part where he's kind of asking a question almost. So he does that little bit a couple times during the song. Pretty well orchestrated song though. Then you have Even in the Quietest Moments, which is a song that usually brings me to tears, but for some reason the live version doesn't do that. You get to see Hodgson playing his guitar and singing alone on stage. Honeywell's there at the beginning with the clarinet and then kind of fades out. You got the next one is Give a Little Bit, which is a great song from one of their lesser known albums. I believe it's on Even in the Quietest Moments. Yeah, I think it could be on Crisis, What Crisis? I'm not sure. It's on one of the two of them anyways. Anyway, fantastic song, one of their first kind of hits that wasn't on Crime of the Century, sorry. Some nice kind of piano here by Davies, Honeywell again on the saxophone, and all three of them doing the chorus vocals, which they do on almost every song. Dreamer, of course, it's Hodgson on keyboards and on the lead vocal part, and all three of them on the chorus part of the song. The next one is Rudy, of course, that's Davis on piano, and this good piano bit that he plays at the beginning, which is really, really neat. Take the Long Way Home, Hodgson on piano and vocals here. Honeywell on clarinet, and there's some pretty heavy drumming in this particular track, I find. More so than you would you normally get. Just little bits. It's not serious drumming, but I noticed it for some reason. Davis playing his harmonica and his keyboards again, and the three of them doing the chorus as usual. And it is pretty much the same for the rest of the songs. They do have Another Man's Woman, that's Davies. This is a bit of more of a heavier track, but I really like his voice on this, and I like the saxophone on this quite a bit too. Child of Vision, one of those Hodgson keyboard songs with those really catchy riffs, I guess, and catchy kind of vocal harmonies. Fool's Overture, Hodgson on piano, Davies on keyboards, Honeywell on clarinet, and he also does some of the other parts here. I believe it's I can't remember what it was. I remember I wrote something about it, but I wasn't sure what it was. Okay, so Fool's Overture, that was that one. And then you have Two of Us, another really good acoustic guitar bit by Hodgson here. Crime of the Century, of course, Davis, and he's on piano here, and then there's a nice solo by Hodgson as well. And then it ends off with From Now On, Davis on piano, and I believe Honeywell does the synthesizer part here. And then, of course, Honeywell, as I said, did most of the announcing of the songs, playing his little kind of lead-up parts, which are a little bit interesting lead-ins for each of the songs that he introduced. So overall, it's really good to watch it live. You get a real feel for what the talent is here. But even if you got there's another version of this. This is a more up-to-date version with the CD added to it. Gives you a little booklet as well. Your two CDs and your DVD, all three in one package. Nice shot of them at the back there. Nice shot of them at the other side. Yeah, all really good, really well, very tastefully done. A nice package deal. It was worth the few extra dollars to get it for the DVD. The other version was pretty much the same, an older version, all of the same tracks on two CDs, but no DVD. I just thought that this was the better buy, and so that's why I got it. I think it's a great album if you're looking for it. And it's Supertramp's Live at Paris 1979. Great live album, fantastic instrumentation by the members of the band. I really like their coordination of their vocal harmonies and vocal parts, and each of them showing off his talents to their best. And I just think it's a great concert, so I highly recommend it. And there you have it. So there you are, this week's live experience featuring Supertramp. So Please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with another live experience. But next week we'll be back to the Psychedelic Snack. So I hope to see you then. So take care. Bye.